Your business is spiritual. Don't believe me? Hang out for just a minute and you may understand why by the end of this very short conversation. All right, so first of all, we've got to have a conversation about what spirituality is. It is not pie in the sky, God on the throne, all of that fairy tale that we've been made to believe for the last few thousand years. Humanity is coming to an awakening. Fortunately, we are seeing that we are measurably more than material. That is what I would like to suggest to you that the spirit world is really all about. I'm not talking about saints and angels. I'm not talking about ghosts and demons. I'm talking about you, the energetic being that has an impact far beyond your physical reach. So, ancient teachings have told us this. Modern science is now measuring it. We have a bioelectromagnetic field. Our heartbeat creates a resonance that is picked up on by others around us. There is a 6-foot diameter measurable field of energy around our bodies. Interestingly enough, it is the same size that has been suggested or taught in various spiritual traditions. If you're interested in some of those, I won't talk about them here, but you can explore my live streams where I do various Qigong teachings. This is an ancient practice that is basically energetic exercise. It helps one get in touch with their immaterial self. Now, why is business spiritual? Well, I would invite you to consider some logos, consider some brands, consider some founders that you may know, consider some employees of a business. Remind yourself or imagine what it's like when you walk into a brick and mortar business. There's a feeling that is associated with all of those levels of engagement. And I would like to suggest to you that this feeling, this emotional, this non-physical component of business is not only the spiritual side, but it's more important than the products and services that are offered. Now, how could that be? Well, it's kind of like us. We think that our bodies are the most important, but if that electromagnetic pulse that somehow keeps our heart miraculously beating, our lungs breathing themselves, are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about your breath? Well, you are now, of course, but were you thinking about it? Are you thinking about your heart beating? You don't have to. And we don't know how, and we don't know why it starts. We can measure now there has been measured the electrical impulse that starts a beating heart when it becomes enough cells to be considered a heart. We can measure the energetic field of the individual, and when that field is no longer present, we say that person is dead. The body is still there, but this energy that made up the body, where'd it go? Where did it come from? We don't know, but that is the essence of the being. In the same way with the business. I've ran multiple businesses, and I have some interesting feedback that I've received from clients who went to my business when I was the owner, and those who went to my business or businesses, as the case may be, when I had sold or moved on from those organizations. And every single time, those clients who were a good fit for me, we had a good working relationship. They said to me, Eric, it just doesn't have the same energy. It doesn't have the same spirit. That's because the business is not the being. You can cookie cutter, stamp the same logo. You can take all the same employees, but if you remove a founder or you remove someone in leadership who has a powerful presence, who is a force within that company, who helps to set the tone, who helps to create the culture, who helps to bring all of those intangibles together to create the feeling, create the experience for the customers. Well, that is proof to me that the spirit of the business is more important than the business itself. You can probably also recognize this in media content. Perhaps you've consumed my content over the years and you've noticed times when the energy was different, right? Something was maybe going on in my life, or maybe there's a point in my personal development where things shifted and it felt differently. That's because what I am creating is an extension of me. And that's the other way that I would like to suggest that business is spiritual. Well, all right. So back to this. What is spirit? I've got a video we did a few weeks ago about, what is God? This idea of God. And science and spirituality, religion, all agree that it seems anyway that there was nothing and then there was something. The Big Bang, the Ein Sof, the infinite void, the Wu Chi. There's all different ways of describing this void that came into being. So when we try to understand what is God or what is spirituality, the two are connected. We'll just leave it there. It strikes me that the central component of what it means to be godly, or what God is a general term we call the creator. The creative impulse. Creation. This is why business is spiritual, because as a business person, you are a creator. It is an incredible gift and privilege to bring an idea to fruition. To go into the realms of imagination and inspiration and bring something into this world that changes the world. We can argue where inspiration and imagination comes from. It doesn't really matter to me. I think we all have access to it. But not everyone has the desire to access it on that deep of a level. Not everyone has the commitment and discipline to access it on that level. So, if you are a business person who has created, then you are clearly doing spiritual work. You are bringing something from the invisible to the visible. Hopefully, it's something that impacts lives positively. Hopefully, it's something that advances human evolution in some way. And, it's interesting the different takes that we can have on these things. I'm sure that there are those who feel that Steve Jobs or Elon Musk, some of the billionaires who get easily criticized for all of their billions. I know. There are those who will contend that their businesses did not help to advance the world, that they somehow harmed things. A lot of conversation around kids and technology. There's a lot of conversation around pollutants and batteries for EV vehicles and all that kind of stuff. And you can find a reason to be against anything. But if nothing else, can we be for the reality that these invisible visions made visible are in some way improving the quality of life? Here we are engaging technologically in a way that it's incredible. I have here before me a makeshift studio thanks to someone's vision, someone's creativity. We're now sending rockets into space at a fraction of the cost because we have renewable rockets. So you can say what you want about Elon Musk. Yeah, you can say what you want about Steve Jobs and kids on their screens. Is it really Steve Jobs' fault, though, that parents give their kids a tablet as a babysitter? No. This goes back to us wanting to make excuses. Those who are not creators, those who are effects rather than causes, tend to want to blame or project onto others their own sense of guilt for not being a creator. So I want to encourage you, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever level you're operating on, you do not need to be a multi-million empire builder. You don't even need to own a mom and pop shop. You don't have to be a business person to be spiritual. But you can take the lessons from business. You can take the lessons from creativity and apply them into your own life. Your home is a business. Your family is a business. Your children, your pets, everything that you have providence over to care for, everything that is your responsibility, you are like the creator for that object or individual. So, not only is your business spiritual, but your entire life is spiritual. And again, not in a religious way. There's no dogma here. I'm not telling you how to be spiritual. I just want you to realize that you are a spiritual being. You are an energetic being first and foremost. Your physical manifestation is downstream of that. And whatever you create, whether it's dinner for your family, whether it's a social media post, or whether it is a multi-billion-dollar empire, it's spiritual work. And that is the glory of being human. We get to be in these bodies and bring from the invisible to the visible to improve quality of life. First and foremost for ourselves and our families and our immediate surroundings, and then possibly for the rest of the world. So, what are you going to do with your creative energy? What are you going to do with your immaterial self? I can't wait to see.